Really, this am Star Trek now. It's all about Boimlers. Tainch, nothing but a Boimler thing. I am Mecha. And that's all Star Trek Lower Decks is about now. And I know what you're thinking, but Mecha, how will we ever find your channel with YouTube doing the thing that YouTube does? You bookmark it in your little tabs. There's a little star thingy. You know, the one that you do to get to all of your important stuff, because you know what, let's face it, you don't want to be enslaved by your devices. You don't want to be dragged to YouTube when they tell you, because you might be in the middle of work. You might be in the middle of something. They're not going to tell you the second I draw videos. I draw videos at 4 a.m. Colorado time usually. Somewhere in there, early in the morning, and we go live Monday nights at 9 Colorado time, which is 11 Eastern. Now, Star Trek, this is what Star Trek am now. And I can't even am it right because, really? This is what they did. Lower Decks. You know, the one that I cannot stand. This is the only Star Trek I've never been able to finish. This is the only this animated Rick and Morty, Trek and Morty. It is Trek or Morty in space.
Those people.
Star Trek Lower Decks is one of the most insulting things I've ever seen. It insults my intelligence every time I try to watch this. And I've made it through about 7 episodes of season 1 and 1 episode of season 2, which don't let them trick you into thinking that's a different season. They filmed season 1 and 2 together. They just split it apart so they'd have an extra year squeezed out of you. So they could charge you another year for CBS All Access, Paramount Plus app streaming services. Which, let's face it, you're gonna shell out more to millionaires on YouTube than you will any of these apps. We all know nobody's actually paying for these apps, so how the heck are they getting funding? I don't know. That might be a video for the Aluminum Archives. The point is, Star Trek Lower Decks seems to be the one that people are liking the most. For some reason, it has the most apologists. It has the most people saying it's sort of watchable. It's watchable in the sense that it kind of makes you feel like it's an episodic Star Trek parody of what people think Star Trek is, of Star Trek tropes, right? Of Star Trek plot points. Sort of. Just jam-packed with reference. We've had reference videos that run 7.5 minutes of just wall-to-wall references with dings. We added dings to our references because every time they would say something, it'd be like, and a Tribble, and Gary Mitchell, and Gary Seven. I don't know, did they talk about Gary Seven on it? And Worf, and Commander Riker, and the Tom Paris plate, and Boimler's taint. And now they're doing a reference to a reference show, showing you a reference of Boimler. So this is the infamous redo of like all the Naked Now episodes and Naked Time and all that stuff from TOS and TNG, where where pretty much everybody on the ship gets completely baked. I didn't watch the episode. I saw the picture of it. Rob, did you watch that episode? You didn't watch the episode, but you saw the picture of it. I was gonna say, well, you've watched more of Lower Decks than I have, right?
Oh, not willingly.
Not willingly. Come and describe how Lower Decks is.
I will come and describe.
Please. Because this is just a reference to Lower Decks now. So all the voice actors come out dressed as their characters, pretty much, except for Green Tilly, who isn't dressed as a green person, and Rebecca Romaine's new husband, Jerry O'Connell, who doesn't have any Bajoran nose pieces or anything. This is a reference to a reference show.
This is a reference. This is a reference to a reference that they made a reference to. We are through the looking glass, people.
This breaks my brain.
See, they're referencing.
This is the mirror universe of references.
No, they're referencing the reference to the reference of the original series reference.
Say what?
Okay.
I think of when I see Boimler's taint. Like, only he's more clothed than he was in the show.
See,
if you do want to show the show, make sure you maybe obscure it, because we can't show the censor bar.
There's a fundamental misunderstanding here. The naked time does not mean they
literally.
are literally naked.
Not even a naked now.
It means
they cut away before Dana and Tashiar did the giggity.
It means their inhibitions are naked. Their fears, their everything, you know?
Star Trek. I just can't. This Trek and Morty stuff has got to go. And this is the one that's the most well received, because if you kind of squint your eyes, it sort of reminds you of Star Trek. Okay, props to them for being like enthusiastic about their jobs. Nothing against the people doing this.
Those people.
The point of this rant is that I can't even make it through Lower Decks or take it seriously. And thank you so much, Sean Rousel. This is causing me an existential crisis. Am I even real? Are any of us? I don't know if any of us are real. Can we prove anything? Like, am I even real in order to be offended by this?
You know, I was about to ask that question.
Who are they? Who are they?
What are they? What do they mean? Are they harbingers of world change?
Yes. So what do they have? They have the Bajoran teddy bears? Okay, I kind of remember those. Or is it a Bajoran teddy bear? Or is it the Geordie bear? Because they used to have those bears at the Star Trek experience in Star Trek Las Vegas. Back when it was at the old Hilton. Or not the old Hilton. Yeah, the old Hilton. I don't know. What are they? Why do they mean? I don't care. That's Boimler's taint right there. That's really all it sums up. I mean, they say, why don't you keep watching Lower Decks? It's like going and reviewing the exact same restaurant with the same meal. I mean, you can only complain about how bad and regurgitated the pancakes are before you have to say, you know what, I can't keep going back to this. I can't keep eating it. So this is why I haven't been reviewing episodic Lower Decks, because they're not going to fix my complaints. They're not going to all of a sudden make it live action, get rid of the references, you know, it's just reference-orama. They're not going to get rid of the cartoon voice. It does a lot of cartoon voice, you know, it does a lot of this, you know, and then it's this and this and then and it's just back and forth and back and forth. I think I might even have Lower Decks clips on here. Do I? I probably do. Those bad lesbians. I'm looking for it and see if I have it labeled somewhere. Oh, here we go. Here's a Lower Decks reference thing.
Back in the day, these guys worshipped a violent god called Landru, who suppressed their creativity until Kirk figured out it was actually a computer. These knuckleheads went back to worshipping Landru.
Don't make me paradox you into destroying yourself. This is literally the exact thing Captain Kirk taught you.
Well, I like purging people during the Red Hour. I'm going to keep doing it.
Dude.
Yeah, I know. It's always weird revisiting planets from the TOS era. You know, Spock, Scotty, those guys.
Get destroyed by a gangster of Triskelion or whatever. Pathetic little flying hammer.
Well, Wesley Crusher worked with his mom. Maybe everybody will be cool about it. You said Wolf 359 was an inside job?
How to decorate the captain's yacht.
If changing's not real, the Dominion War didn't happen.
Titan is also within range. Boimler?
I thought the Enterprise was strong. We thought you were the Enterprise.
Hacklids?
Guys, right here? Yep, break something now. You did this
How much contraband have you hidden on my ship?
Double hit.
I wasn't mad that you were stealing the Sacramento promotion.
What about the needs of the many?
Artie and I wasn't invited?
Sorry, what was that? I hate it when a ship gets repaired and comes out looking all sovereign class.
Fluidic systems and how to reroute them.
He's with the prophets now. A tribble?
Yeah, that's for personal use.
You were sort of my Chadich.
Sooner or later, I'm gonna run into you and I'm gonna feed you to an artist. You hear me?
I'm sorry I'm late. I was watching the first Enterprise on the holodeck. You know, Archer and those guys. Those guys had a long road getting from there to here. You know, they had a little Risa.
Should we take the little Horgan?
Oh, the jazz.
So yeah, it's all references. And that's just from one single episode of Lower Decks. That's not a whole season. That is all the references in one single episode of Lower Decks. Every single episode has that many. It is that annoying. And I can't say enough about it other than... It just makes me wanna... It just makes me wanna... Boimler's taint. Boimler's taint. And references. So that's all I hear with Lower Decks. I can't pay attention to the story because the storyline is disrespectful as crap to Star Trek. I mean... There's nothing redeemable about this one, and I get how people who are so starving for anything remotely similar to the Trek we had would be receptive of it, because it is the closest thing to TNG that they're giving us. However, the Orville's doing a much better job at giving us basically Voyager with a different captain, and that's perfectly okay with me, and I don't have to suffer through this cartoon crap filled with whatever this is, and all the references, and all the gore, and all the swearing, and all the nudity, and all of the just grossness. So that none of that is Star Trek to me, and I see that why people want to like it, but it's not Star Trek to me. So no, I won't be reviewing Lower Decks season 2 or 3. Screw Lower Decks. Going back to my live chat. Don't you go anywhere. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!
Oh my.